Hello, Shelley Dwellies. Sunday sharp doo doo dee doo dee doo. Sunday sharp doo doo dee doo dee doo. Sunday sharp doo 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 doo. Ah, haha, gotcha. Hello, greetings, salutations, willkommen, hola, ciao, bonjour, comment allez-vous, etc. Ad infinitum. Howdy, Sky. How are you? Hope all is well. Um, I'm doing okay. Tired, worn out. Long week of work. I say long week. Lazy, unemployed for a long time. So any work is a long week. But yeah, been a busy week of work. So I are a tired Wookie. Mostly it's been three earlies in a row. So yes, yay! But hey, it's all going well. So I mustn't grumble. I'm enjoying my new job and the people I work with, and most of the customers as well. So, yay! Mr. Bob, hello, sir. How are you? That's one I missed out. Howdy. I should have remembered a howdy all in there. So I'm assuming again today we're probably going to be a bit short of people, as most will probably be at the Triple Crown in Kentucky, providing they're not being flooded out. I did hear about what's going on there with rain from the Appalachians coming down and flash flooding in Kentucky. Not good to hear. So I hope at least every member of the fish fam is safe. So that's my hope anyway. I know there's been several have unfortunately lost their lives in it, but my American geography isn't great, so I don't know if that's even the same part of Kentucky. It could be. Oh, am I talking quiet again? Yeah, it could just be me. Or are you winding up, Bob, about something? Ugh, my voice is doing weird things today. Internet might be as well, so you never know. It's what I get for spending the afternoon hanging around ruined churches and Roman Catholic mausoleums. Um, yeah, that was a bit of an eye opener, just to say the least. There wasn't a haunted church, as in a known to be haunted, but I did feel a presence there. So while I was just wandering around off camera, I sort of said hello and introduced myself and that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, that was it. And as Bob got to turn up his hearing aids, has he? Uh, happens to all of us. So yes, I've had a rather good week. I do apologise. I think I've missed every single stream this week. Or did I? Did I make one of Jess's? Maybe Monday? But yes, it's when you have to be up for work in the morning at 7 o'clock, you miss the streams that you would watch that time of day, and then you're going to bed too early to see the later streams. So I do apologise. And Larry D is here. Good evening, sir. Hope all is well with you. I know me and Larry will get on perfect because likes fish, likes hot sauce, and horror movies. Oh, and yes, just a bit of tape around the insulting tape on the finger because I have a minor injury. and I wanted to keep the gunk out of it. My extreme is a bit muffled. Yes, now we just need to find a scary, spicy fish. Yeah. Blue dragons might fill that, but they're not a fish. They're a nudibranch, a sea slug. A sea slug that eats highly venomous siphonophores like the Portuguese man o' war, grows to about an inch, and is actually capable of killing people. So, yay! If you see something that looks like a blue and white angel type thing on the beach that's about that big, leave it well alone. As apparently they have been found in Texas now. So, yes. That's just a general good rule of thumb. If you don't know what something is, don't pick it up. It's like it's actually a sea slug, but I mean they're absolutely gorgeous. Little, they do just look like a miniature blue and white dragon. They're super cool. But yeah, a spicy, scary fish. And it's super cool little creatures. The only sea slugs we get in the UK are kind of brown and look like the sort of thing you might flush rather than anything pretty or you might want to have in a tank. Well, unless you're doing a 1980s North Sea tank, in which case having something like that floating about in it would be accurate. And we do have to search the bottom of the ocean. There's a lot down there we don't know about. There's plenty on the land we don't know about. So, and that's not including the cryptids. We all say it like that. Because technically any animal unknown to science is a cryptid. Whether it be a species of bug that's yet to be discovered in the middle of the Amazon rainforest where no human has ever been, or a bloody Sasquatch, or megalodon there could still be a gigantic species of deep sea shark out there. You never know. Until we've explored everything and catalogued everything, we won't know. Yeah, so what we've been up to this week other than work and water changes? Yeah, not a lot really. To be honest, that's it. Yeah, Monday I basically got all my water changes done. Tuesday I got all my shopping and stuff done. And then Wednesday I had a bit of a rest and did the water changes on the fry rack again. Because now I won't be able to do it until Tuesday at the earliest. Possibly. And yeah, there's a lot of fishies in there, so it needs lots of water changes. Feeding a young bull shark in the creek, which I had a pond for. You're going to need a bigger pond, Bob. Definitely, because they're not little fishies, bull sharks. Well, they get about 12 to 15 feet, something like that, and eat anything. There's the amount of them that have been found with tin cans in their stomach and license plates and yeah, they literally eat anything. And they're actually becoming far more common nowadays, it seems, in the inland waterways in both Australia and the US. I think I did hear that they'd been found as far inland as the Great Lakes, unofficial Tennessee fish mafia mascot. got to have a proper name. So, what's a good Italian or mafioso name for a shark? You know, bite the hand that feeds it. Definitely. Sorry, that's Nine Inch Nails track. Bite the hand that feeds. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be caught hand feeding a bull shark. It's bad enough hand feeding blooming shell dwellers. They soon give you a nip. But we're going to have a clear out of them soon, because it looks like one of the little ones is basically missing his tail. So they've been arguing, which means they've been getting overstocked. It's been Shark Week, has it? We don't get that over here. Well, we probably would if, well, we do, but I don't. I don't have subscription TV channels because I don't watch TV. And I've also watched a lot of documentaries and read a lot of books about sharks over the years. My favourite of the shark family being the short fin mako. It's one of those that looks absolutely vicious and evil and perfectly capable of rending you limb from limb, but it's not. Well, it is, but it wouldn't. It's one of those mackerel sharks that eat smaller fish rather than larger creatures. Would just swim away from a human. See ones that walk on land. Oh, yes, those ones. Oh, what are they called? It's not the wobbegong, was it? I can't remember what they're called now. Put me on the spot and I can't remember. Yeah, short fin and long fin mako. The short fin being the faster. Hell, you got to be quick to eat sailfin and marlin. So yeah, that's why. Yes, land sharks. Yes, a mango. If you don't watch The Click on YouTube, you probably wouldn't get that joke. It's a kind of Reddit reading meme channel that has a land shark as his plushie. Mr. Y-Rock is here. Mr. Eric, how are you, sir? Lurking while you do some yard work. Good, get that done. And Debbie, hello, my dear. I am well, thank you. Hope you are too. Fab news, going to be a grandma for the first time. Not Nana Debbie. Oh, congratulations. Or commiserations, depends which. I hope you're feeling a bit better as well. Yes, I'm good. But yes. Nana Debbie. Because I've been winding up Laurie that instead of Monster Fish Gal, she's going to have to be Monster Fish Granny soon. And, oh, Danny boy. Greetings, Dan. How are you, my sir? Yes, the old Saturday Night Live skit. Yes. Better than you were. Good, good. Good to know you're on the mend, Deb. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed your Holly Bobs, Dan, and came back to everything being hunky and dory. No issues, no probs, no nasty diseases or COVID picked up on the way back, which tends to happen. Nadine's been away in Butlins at Skegness all week, so I feel her pain and misery. I went there in the 80s. It was like a prison camp. My general overriding feel and memory of the place was, imagine Auschwitz with a beach and a swimming pool. Just back, had a quick look, everything seems okay so far. I think that's a lot of it. I think people panic a lot about leaving the tanks for a few days or a week, or unless you've got tiny fry, most fish will be able to look after themselves for a week. And if anything, as long as you've not had someone feeding and overfeeding the tanks, if anything, by the time you get back, the tanks will probably look better than they did when you left. Oh. And walking around in long grass without any in shorts, and I've been bitten by a few creatures, it seems. They're itchy. Well, as long as you had a good hollybobs and got all rested up, and yeah, definitely had something trying to eat me. Hope it's not some Roman Catholic spirit. That would be bad. Yeah, so didn't really do much this week other than work and water changes. I've not even had naps. Auto feeders set up, and had quite a few. Only the baddest I was worried about, but they seem okay. Yeah, that is the thing with baddest, is they will basically only eat live food, won't they? Unless you get really lucky and you manage to train them onto something like vibrobites, which look like tiny little wormies. Yeah, but as I say, if you got a mature tank with plenty of microorganisms in there, then the baddest will be able to om and nom on a few things and keep themselves happy and healthy for a while. I think grasshopper, hello, greetings. And I'm going to avoid any of the bad jokes from Kung Fu about grasshoppers. Was that David Carradine? Yeah, I figured the other account was Yella. Yes. I kind of put two and two together and was hoping I was roughly correct. Welcome aboard, sir. Good to have you. Welcome to the weirdness that sometimes happens. It all depends on where my brain takes us or where the chat takes us. The chat goes in a weird direction, I go in a weird direction. Some of the things we talk about here, you wouldn't expect. I've been feeding them micro pellets soaked in bloodworms for weeks to try and get them onto pellets. Not sure it worked. And there you go, Bob's already on the sub bandwagon. Go on, Bob, stick grasshoppers link in. We're not worried about that kind of thing here. So if I was away for a week, I say the only things I would be concerned about would be all these tanks, which I don't think is technically possible to overfeed. Given the fact they've all got at least 1.5 inch chunk of courgette zucchini in there. Well, they had this morning. Now they've basically just got the skin of the zucchini left. It's a very loud grasshopper. Yeah. Wouldn't that be a cicada? Post nothing on the channel, just a second channel. Well, yeah, I say I know, but I don't. But subs always help. If you got a few subs, then keeps YouTube happy anyway, even if you've got no content. I mean, does anyone know how many subs Candy Overhauls has got now? Because she was near 1,000 last time I looked, and she's got no content. Lots of porn, but no judgment. Yeah, I'm not going to judge anyone for watching. I've watched plenty in my life. I have been referred to as a walking encyclopedia of the subject. Then I was single for 22 years. I'm in no NSFW. I'm pretty sure my entire channel is not safe for work. And it depends where you work. A lot of places just having YouTube on will be not safe for work. Oh, hello, Glitch. How are you? Good to see you. And yes, as we were talking about yesterday with Terry, yes, there's basically 150 bristle noses in each of these tanks. And that one. And that breeder box. And another breeder box. And that tank. And yeah. Bob, thank you very much. A member for 8 months. And I'm going to resist any jokes about Bob being a member. Glitch definitely not safe for work. What are you jealous of, my little Pleckiplex? Aw. And, oh, New England Endler. Get an eye infection watching. No, what you will end up with is a right arm bigger than your left arm. That's actually a joke. It's just I'm just right-handed, so well, I say right-handed. I'm ambidextrous. You know, better with the right than the left. Then weirdly, I'm also two-footed when it comes to playing football. And carrying all the buckets. Yes, Dan, that'll be it. Lifting 3-gallon buckets up and down into sinks. Bob's the biggest number. I think you meant member. No, biggest member here is me. when it comes to that, I can be an absolute member. Anyone who's known me for any length of time will know I can be an absolute arse when I want to be. I'm not. I can be all lovely and fun and amusing, but if you pee me off, you will know about it, and that's partly why I've got the nickname of Wookie. Yeah, there's a distinct chance of arm rippage off. But yeah, so fishy wise, everyone doing well. I would say no new births this week, but technically those bristly noses are 4 days old in there. They're just about off the yolk. So there's Dad having a big poop. Don't text to speech. Actually, yeah, I'm not making any comments about ladies' asses or assets. Not unless I know them very well and I know I can get away with it. Because I had people get upset with me before in the past over jokes I may have made. But I thought were perfectly fine. This is obvious it was a joke, but they got upset with me about it. Yeah. And in breaking news, we do have rain in Norfolk today. Yay! So for the first time in about 3 months today, it actually rained. Rained most of the night, and we've had a couple of showers during the day. So hopefully that will be an end to all the wildfires that have been going on. could basically have told you there was going to be rain this weekend several months ago, because it was the Old Buckingham Air Show this weekend, and yeah, you don't want to see me do a rain dance, Sky. There are turkey feathers and nudity. Yeah, so it's the Old Buckingham Air Show, which means, yeah, it usually is cloudy and rainy. The Wookiee shuffle. Yeah, I'm not used to making Wookiee noises. Haven't done it for quite a while. If I yawn, I sound like a Wookiee. Yeah, so we had all the various display planies flying about, from the little putt-putts to the big honking jets. Actually, when I was out having a ciggy earlier, I managed to time it just perfectly to watch the Eurofighter Typhoon from the RAF, because Old Buckingham's about 2 miles that direction. So yeah, when it's something like a Typhoon, a modern fighter jet, the turning circle on it brings it over Attleborough basically. So yeah, I was watching that flying around while I was having a ciggy and fussing a kitty, which is always a good combination. And no, I'm not dancing in a video. Nobody needs to see that. There's dad dancing and there's spastic granddad dancing, and I do the latter. This has got the rhythm, but all this hasn't. I can do whatever time signature and meter in my head and count it all out, but try to get the, and I can put, or used to be able to play it, but yeah, trying to actually dance in time, no. I pointed that way because my guitar used to be leaning up over there, but it isn't anymore. Not since I had to move a bunch more DVD shelves to get another tank in. Oh, itchy nose. I think that's hay fevery. So I was outside for quite a bit yesterday at work. I drew the short straw. Yes, I got to stand outside with the gazebo and the product that was out there and run the little football game, and yeah. How's the courgettes? We're getting close, Dan. We're getting close. I reckon maybe another week. The first one will be ready for harvest. Courgette zucchini, if you're American, is probably about that long now. It's not very fat though, so I'm giving it a chance to get some girth going. Hey, evening red laser, how are you? Hope all is good. It is pretty cool being able to feed your fish what you grow yourself, and then feed what your fish produce from what you grow yourself to what you grow. So Debbie is now going to be learning how to knit and make baby clothes. Just please not the kind of ones that my gran used to knit for me when I was little. Oh, I don't know how you can manage to knit a pullover that's patterned with about 5 different shades of brown and make it clash. Oh, that thing was horrible. On an energy drink tree, yes. Well, if I could work out a way of getting fish to produce caffeine and taurine and sugar, I'd probably, yeah. It wouldn't be water changes so much as top-ups. Really knit and crochet, so you're looking for patterns already then, are you, Debbie? Knit 1, purl 1, drop 2. Swear. You know, I got taught how to knit and crochet when I was younger, but I've forgotten now. Yeah, water changes with a straw. But you know the ones where people keep going about when they doing a water change and they get their mouth full of water when they start the siphon. I'm not entirely sure how you manage that because buy a self-priming siphon. It's not that difficult. Um, One with the squeezy bulb in it, so you don't have to get a mouthful. But yeah, I would just if that was basically energy drink in there, yeah, the water change would just be put the siphon in. Got patterns and wool already. Was hopeful. Oh, bless you. Yeah, there's being ready and prepared, and yeah. And then, let me guess, the wool you've gone for is a gender neutral colour. Until you find out. I know these days people say, "Oh, you shouldn't only let girls wear pink and boys wear blue." It's yeah, but it's time honoured. I've done it both lungs full of brown water, emptying a tank with all the plants ripped out. I know the colour that tanks go when you pull the plants out. Oh my god, that's foul. Because when I completely ripped this one down to nothing for the Camellanus worm treatment. Yeah, yeah, that was basically. It looked like Coke, to be honest. It was the same colour. I actually cleaned out the filter, I think 5, 6 times that day. Hello, Jamie. Do you have a magic torch? Oh no. And there's probably only 2 people in here who will get the joke about Jamie and a magic torch. Debbie and Dan. So I'm pretty sure that program didn't make it to the States. Canadian, well, it might have made it to Kanakistan. You never know. It's more likely than America being a former British colony. But yes, it was a 1980s children's TV show, animated, called Jamie and His Magic Torch. Jamie had lots of adventures with his magic torch. Oh dear. Hello, Sherry. Oh, we failed textiles. Oh dear. And I managed to pass that one. I wasn't allowed to take it as a GCSE because I was a boy, and boys weren't allowed to do textiles or home economics. Yeah, boys weren't allowed to do those subjects in my school. I would rather have done that than bloody art or drama. Jeez. And I got excused from religious studies on grounds of being me. Uh, well, on grounds of just asking really awkward questions that there was no way the teacher was ever going to be able to answer, without saying that everything else she just said was absolute rubbish. I may have planned that one. Excused, meaning politely asked to go anywhere else. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it would be. Because religious studies was a half-hour lesson once a week, or was it an hour? I think it was an hour. And I would go, turn up, register would get called. I would shout my name. My name would go, "Here, miss." Right, off you go. As everyone else in the class is. As I just toddle off to the library and go read a book for an hour. Far more fun. Lasers in Ontario. So long as I don't have to start trying to learn Quebecois. You know where the two fingers up thing comes from? Yeah, it's from the 100 Years' War between England and France. Because if you've got those two fingers, you can still draw your bowstring. Is what the French would do is, if they captured the archers, cut those two fingers off so they couldn't draw their bow anymore. Magic torch, so sounds like a Jimmy Savile production. No, that was Jimmy in his magic fleshlight. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what the single finger one means, where that came from. Because it's not like it's a trigger finger or anything like that. Domestic goddess, I am not. Oh, bless you, Sherry. No, medieval crossbows you fired with all four fingers. They were really simple. May not be domestic goddess, but goddess nonetheless. All ladies are. Even Pam. I don't know what she's the goddess of. Hatred, anger, rage, coffee. But the first three fingers together, say read between the lines. That was a good one. Yeah, but that's very close to which would be that hand, the Cub Scout salute. Make me fall off the chair. Doubtful. Although now we've had weird. I'll say weirder. We've had ladies wetting themselves. So yes. I'm no domestic god. I just live on my own, so I had to figure this stuff out. You know, how to cook, clean, all that stuff. I figured it would be less hassle than actually having a relationship. And I was right for the most part. Back then. Obviously, now I'm with Mary and everything is wonderful. And I'm pretty sure if I hurt myself, she'd probably come around here and be wanting to do all the housework and the tidying and the water changes and everything for me. Sounds like a Mary Poppins song. Core blimey, Mary Poppins. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. Yeah, and yeah, Dick Van Dyke's accent or British Cockney accent, it doesn't exist in the English language. There is nobody who speaks like that. Everything's wonderful is Mary. And yeah, we love Mary. And I was filming today, and there was another wild Mary caught on camera. And actually, in one of the videos I filmed today, yeah, there is me going, yeah, it's all right. I'm not going to get you on camera. Don't worry. It was weird. I was doing one of my church tour kind of videos. Did I watch the Red Green show? Ooh, no, doesn't ring a bell to me. And Garcia's here. Hello. Hola. Or ciao. Hola sounds better. Sounds a bit more. Garcia sounds more Spanish. Where was I? Yeah, so I'll do my normal wandering around the church, reading my notes, giving a bit of background spiel about the place. And this old woman comes wandering in, and she's just kind of stood there listening to me. It was like I was giving a guided tour of the place. Perhaps that's something I could do. Sharpe's random guided tours of ruined churches. In this case, one that Henry VIII didn't get his grubby mitts on. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Garcia. How are you? Show us your fish. And ones. Or the actual swimmy ones. Shall we have a look at some swimmies, shall we? Oh god, this blooming camera cable gets more and more tangled up by the week. What's it tangled up in now? So here we go. Some shelly dwellies. Somewhere around there. The Neolamprologus similis. Somewhat overstocked tank. So we do need to sell some of these guys off. Oh, there we go. Doing a bit of aquascaping for us on camera. You see, that's why every serious scaper should have a Shelly tank. Because it doesn't matter, you can put the sand all completely level. You can then go to bed and you wake up the next day and it's all over the place. Oh, come on, untangle, you bastard. Once I get this cable untangled, we'll have a bit more reach on it. We might actually be able to get close enough to the tank to see something. Come on. Come on, we're getting there. This will be a lot easier with two hands. You'd think if I was a professional and actually any good at what I do for my second job, well, it's technically third job, isn't it? I would untangle the cables before I started, wouldn't I? But, you know, it's about as close as we're gonna get. So, as always, showing themselves off. We have Bert and Ernie, big fat happy caras. Don't hurt a fly. Then you might just about be able to see the wrigglage in the bottom of the breeder box, which is, as I say, the 4-day-old bristlenoses. Those ones down there in what used to be the shrimp tank are 5 weeks old. What else we got? Oh, there he is. As the fish, the myth, the legend. There's Spotty Boy, father to several thousand plecos. Om nom 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 nom. You good boy. Oh, and some Corey goodness. Who else is in here? Oh, ropey looking black neons. Random floating leaf. I swear that is the same Akara. Now, no idea where the rest of them are hiding. Dwarf neon rainbow is hiding somewhere, and so are the Nanakara. So, hello, Rebecca. You may want to look away now, my dear. In here, we have more 5-week-old bristly noses and some Pelvicochromys subocellatus, or ocellated cribs. The least stocked of the fry tanks, which is super red longfins. Then More standard bristlies, more super reds with long fins, more super reds. Yes, Cookie Monster. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it that way, am I? And then in here we have the rammy horn snails and a whole pile of Linear Parisiae fry. So, yes, we do have some slightly cloudy water at the moment, but it's just kind of what happens when you have to do two lots of water changes and filter cleans a week. You tend to get your bacterial blooms going on. G'day, Mark. Sir Stilson, Sterlo, Marco, Bunyip, Molester. So yes, that's basically all I can reach with the camera from here. I'm probably going to have to do another tank tour at some point, aren't I? Just to show you what's occurring in all of them. I might even remember to, like, do the water changes and clean the glass first this time. Oh, gee. Thank you very much, Mark. Gifting out 5 more membershipies. USL Services, Allison. Oh dear. Yella. Ooh, all these memberships. I'll have more members than Captain Stabbing at this point. Oh, camera's doing the silly no focus thing again. And it's decided to focus at that distance. There we go. So, how are you, Rebecca? Hope all is well with you, my dear. Where were we before I was rudely interrupted by camera not focusing? I don't know why I worry about that, because seeing me in a focus is not a high point. Let's be honest. I look better with plenty of Vaseline on the camera lens. Hell, I look better with the camera covered up, let's be honest. Now, the YouTube thing always says, now, make sure you have a fake human face in the thumbnail and have yourself in the video. No one wants to see this when they're pretty fishies to look at. In Bristol for a few days, moving house has taken too long. Got back from a walk to and from the centre, 8 miles in total. Ooh, that's a long walk. Rather you than me, but then you're still young and slim. I'm old and fat, so. And Al's here, Mr. Wet Socks. G'day. Greetings, sir. We're getting all the cool people turn up today. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, I'm not entirely sure about the geography, but heard about the flooding in Kentucky at the moment. Obviously very bad, very sad. People have lost their lives, but I'm fingers crossed and hoping that any fish fam at the Triple Crown are safe and well and not affected. Or that the direction they've got to go home doesn't mean they've got to cross the flooded areas. Steph, hello, my dearie. Not seen you for a while. Good to see you. Not bad walk, but in this heat, it feels as humid as. Yeah, it's. I was like, the temperature's dropped, but it's been piddling down with rain, so the humidity has gone. Whoa! Yeah, it's basically like breathing low pressure steam. It's not good. I've been floating around for an hour and a half, and well, I've only been going 50 minutes. So if you've been here an hour and a half, Steph, you've done well. I didn't even have the stream up then. There we go. Yellow's found all the emojis. What story have we got today? We have fish, shrimp, ghost, snail, fart. That's a good story. Half an hour, right? Very bad. Followed storm chasers live for days. Oh dear. Yeah, we've got no storms as it were here. Just you may have got it bass backwards, but don't worry about it. I get things bass backwards all the time. Base over apex. Bottom over top. All the various different versions of that saying. I'm the kind of person that will be speaking to someone regularly for like an hour or two at a time, and it's only after about 3 months I think, actually, what is their name? Steph's got the same story as well. That's a good story, that one. Fish, shrimp, ghost, snail, fart. As and when I've got a decent amount of time off work and think about it and can be bothered about it, then I will see if I can do a burping man emoji as well. I have a storm in Kentucky. Someone saved 2 people no one else could get to. Result. So I think the last I heard it was it something like 25 people who lost their lives in that. Mastered the art in talking to people without knowing their name, but they think I do. Yeah, it's one of those things that comes with working in retail. Oscar catfish, Oscar catfish, Molly's Oscar. Well, Van Donnelly is bat backwards. Still more missing. Yeah, it's pretty shocking, but poor lady lost a dog, but then heard it beneath the rubble. That's not good. I don't know why, but this is because I'm a member, as we were talking about earlier, but I find the loss of animals like pet dogs and things like that, I find that more upsetting than the human loss, weirdly. Yeah. Child on the roof with a dog was very sad. I don't know why it's something cute and furry animals affect me more than people. It's and given the weather that's been happening in the States this year and the weather that's been happening over here, I think it's safe to say we can't say that climate change isn't happening, but there will still be people who deny it. I saw someone the other day saying that it's not real because in the 90s everyone was going on about this hole in the ozone layer and nobody's talking about it anymore. Then it was pointed out that we banned the use of chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, and yeah, because we stopped using it, it started healing itself. Yes, Sherry, I think the last I heard was something like 25 people have lost their lives in those floods. This is caused by torrential rain up in the Appalachians, or up in Appalachia, depends what part of the states, whether you're actually from there or whether you're from outside it. Learned about CFCs in A levels, fridges. Yes, it was fridges and deodorant. Because yes, CFCs were used as propellant in deodorants and any other squirty, sprayy thing. And the really tragic bit is the guy who invented leaded petrol, who then later obviously discovered the problems it was causing. Yeah, he then went on to invent CFCs. Yes, not to mention past New South Wales had 1 in 100-year floods in 18 months. Yeah. Which sounds like more like old South Wales, to be honest. That much water. Yeah, so Mary told me about it this morning, so I quickly YouTubed and watched a couple of news videos, and yeah, it's not good. Again, forgive my ignorance on American geography, but is that the Mississippi up that way in Kentucky? Or is that another river? So yeah, everywhere else has got flooding, and we're getting hosepipe bans coming in because the rivers are in danger of running dry, and all the water reservoirs are down to about 60%. Oh, thank you very much, Bob. Oh, a foxy with a heart. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Much appreciated. And at some point, I promise I will buy a new chair. I did look at the one upstairs, and while yes, it is in better condition than this one, despite the fact that it's the one I used to go fishing in. Yeah, it doesn't have the drinks holder in the arm, so yeah, this one's got a can holder in the arm, which is very helpful. So yes, at some point I will get a new chair because this one is, well, I would say it is close to broken. Let's be honest, if I don't get a new one soon, yeah, I'm going to be sitting on my butt. It's close to collapsing. Personally, not watched the news for about 2 weeks. Yeah, don't blame me. I haven't actually watched the news in more like 20 years. Um, it's not news anymore. It's not factual. Just remember when you put the news on, and it would be someone, normally someone like Sir Trevor McDonald, standing there and just giving you the actual facts of what has happened. Not giving you the facts of what has happened, and then have someone who may know a bit about it waffle on a bunch of what they think and opinion. But no, we don't want that. We want to know the actual truth of the matter. That's all we need to know. Yeah. Basically just need to get rid of the 24-hour bloody news channels because there's not that much happens that you need to be on the air for 24 hours a day. I can't remember when it was. It might have been in the 60s, so obviously I can't remember. But there was actually one day where the BBC News consisted of, and today there has been no news. Yeah, simply nothing happened that day that was deemed newsworthy enough. Yeah, don't forget to stick your thumb up this guy. Oh, thank you very much, Bob. Yeah, I'm not going to go for those jokes. Sad when you have to check YouTube to find the truth of what's going on. Yeah, exactly. You should be able to go to a news source, whichever channel it is, and they will be reporting exactly the same news. Not you go to this one for the far right view on it. You go to this one for the right view on it. You got this weird one that nobody's ever heard of for the central view on it. Or in the UK, the right and the left. Yeah, when you this is happening, right? Let me go on YouTube and find someone who's made a video on it. Yeah, blame Murdoch. I think we can safely blame Rupert Murdoch for a lot. Much as I don't believe in heaven and hell, I think we can safely say if there's one person who's guaranteed not to be going upwards at the end, is Rupert Murdoch. The amount of people he's ripped off and the amount of lies he's sold over the years, allegedly, because he's that much of an a-hole that he would probably sue me for saying that. And yes, if you say allegedly, you can't be done with slander. Or if you're telling the truth. So, yeah. And whoever made the Crazy Frog song. Beep, beep. Ding, 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 ding. Follow Storm Chaser live on YouTube. That's how it's going on in Kentucky. Over $10,000 worth of water, Pampers, etc. to help. There we go. Although, I mean, it's sad that the richest country on the planet and the government aren't instantly stepping in with a disaster relief fund. You know, you'd think that would be the first thing that happens. The government literally step in and go, right, what do we need to do to fix this? That's how it should be. Like all these soldiers that aren't overseas doing war stuff, get them to Kentucky, get them throwing sandbags around and buckets and mopping and whatever needs doing, saving people. Me too, Sherry. Me too. It's so I've got a funny feeling it's not in one of the more prosperous areas. Let's put it that way. If it's south of the Appalachians, then, as far as I know, that's not exactly a very well-off area of the country or state. So, thank you very much, Sherry. I'm sure the Americans watching will appreciate that. We have a Coast Guard and Army Corps of Engineers for some reason. Yeah, that's for yeah. I know. We get a flood over here. We don't get them generally that bad because we used to lots of rain. But yeah, as soon as anything like that happens, the army's out, the territorial army's out, the reserves are out, doing everything they can to help. It's not a bit of a shite fight, but it might be time for a new deal. I think in most countries it's time for things to change. Basically, get everyone who's currently over 30 and go, yeah, none of you can serve public office. You're so out of touch with what is actually going on. And nobody who's rich either. Don't send love, send cheeseburgers. Oh, don't start talking about cheeseburgers. I could murder one. Oh, triple whopper with cheese and bacon would be good. Although a homemade decent burger, couple of quarter pounders, some Stilton, some ham, some crispy bacon. English bacon, not American bacon. Well, actually Danish bacon, so that's even better. Bit of hot sauce on there, bit of mayo, bit more hot sauce. Yeah, that sounds good. Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. I mean, I'll quite happily eat the pickles separately. If I get a Big Mac, I'll pull it open and pull the gherkins out and go nom 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 nom, and then eat the burger. Um, but yeah, lettuce should not be eaten warm. Warm lettuce is horrific. It's basically green slime. All it does is act as a act as a barrier between the different sauces so they don't mix together. That's all it's there for. Never know the true pleasure of the in and out. No, under 30s have to get the heads off the gaming screens first. Yeah, there is that. um, yeah, and definitely no one that has studied politics either. I forget who it was. I think it was a Labour MP way back who said anyone who's studied politics has no place in politics. It's pretty right, really. Because by studying it, you're learning the way it's always been done. So nothing's going to change. So I think we were talking about it last week with Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister. If you can get a chance to watch either of those shows, watch them. They are awesome shows. Yes, they are early 80s, I think, but they're a satire. But to me, it's not really a satire because it's just bloody true. I can't say I've ever had a burger hot enough to wilt the lettuce. Yeah, I generally just pull the green muck out of the burgers. If there's any red muck in there, well, that goes out straight away. I mean, they were not doggos. No, they weren't. Weirdly, I mean, this is it. They could pass as a documentary because they're so close to how things still happen in not only in UK politics. But yeah, it's just all an old boys club. It's not about what you know, it's about which tie you wear because you went to that school. You know it's bad when the Labour Party, the left-wing party in the UK, the one who is all about trade unions and socialism. No, socialism is not a bad thing. Being yeah, we won't get into that. I'm going to explain that. I ain't got long enough. But yeah, at the moment they're not standing behind the railway union because the railways are out on strike at the moment. It's like, no, that's kind of your job is to stand by the people who are striking. But yeah. Evening, Chewy. How are you, sir? Hope all is well. UK policy is very Oxford centric, which is a very insular university. That's a very polite way of putting it. Insular. Yes. Basically, the only person that can tell any of them what to do is their old house mother from Eton or university. That's the only person they'll listen to and the only person they're remotely scared of. I would say the choice of who we've got as next Prime Minister, but we don't get to choose. That's a Conservative Party get to choose, and yeah, I'm not sure I like either of them. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't trust either of them far enough to. Yeah. Oh, Yazzie needs a walk. Well, sending Yazzie fusses and head scratches as always because Yazzie's cool and awesome. Now, I'm not usually a fan of small dogs, and especially not Chihuahuas, but for some reason Yazzie is very cool. Do it for Yazzie. Exactly. Yeah, see? I think Yazzie's got a bigger fan club than Bob has. I doubt they'll win the next election. Yeah, they better not. Liz Truss is funny in the fact she's so useless. Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely from the Boris Johnson camp. Yeah, absolutely useless. Yes. Oh well. Has anyone got anything lighter and more entertaining and perhaps funny we could speak about than English politics? Mandy, my dear. Yes, my hair is getting rather long and luscious. It's got past the annoying stage now, and yeah, so we've actually got a proper ponytail again. But it's got past that annoying stage where it just gets in the way and does weird things out the side, or flops down and goes straight in your eye, that kind of thing. So yeah, and we've only got another month or so before it starts getting cool again, so I might be able to leave it 2 years between haircuts. Yeah, this was April 2021. I last had a haircut. Um, but yes. So this week's videos, what were they? What did we talk about this week in my videos? Um, I know Fridays was Hingham Church, the wander around the outside. Make sure you tune in for part 2 of that, especially Americans, because you'll get a bit of a shock when you see who there's a memorial to inside. Someone you really won't be expecting. Let's put it that way. And Monday, was it the what was Monday's video? I'll tell you, I've got a bad memory. I can't even remember bloody a video I uploaded 6 days ago. Was it the pelvic chromis? Or was it? No, it was the keeping an aquarium cool tips video. That was the one. Um, so I didn't remember it because I literally recorded it about 5 minutes before I uploaded it. Um, not getting long, it's just slipping up my forehead. That ain't a forehead. And when I was younger, it was a forehead. Now it's a 5 head. And before long, it's going to be a 6 head. And if I do that, I'll look like a bloody Klingon. Um, yeah, there ain't a lot left up the top either. That's your head shouldn't make that sound. Um, it's just hair. It just keeps the rain off, keeps your head warmer. I watched that video in Portugal, made you feel even hotter. Yeah, it was ludicrously hot here, Dan. So if you were to look up Ash Hill, Ashill, kind of ironically named because now half the village is ash after a wildfire that took 22 houses out. Um, this is it, gents. As you get older, you do not go bald. Your hair does not fall out. It just finds new and interesting places to grow from, like your ears, your nose, your eyebrows, your back. I was waiting for the soles of my feet to start getting furry. Literally, my palms and the soles of my feet are the only bits that aren't furry. The rest of me is. It's not a good sight, especially as it's all going grey as well. It's not good. Not good. This is why people do not see me without a shirt on. Well, except for Mr. Karen over the back. But that's because he keeps peering over the fence to see what I'm up to. And every time he gets saluted. He's like, bugger off, stop staring into my house, you perv. Merritt, my darling, how are you, hon? Hope you're all well and dandy and good. Like your new tattoo? Don't know what it says, but it looks very nice. Mwah. Oh. Big hugs. Yeah, so yes, that was the videos for this week. Next week we will have. What have we got? Well, I've filmed a species profile on a fish I have, but the fish does not. Oh, that's great news, Merritt. I know where you're going with what that says, so I'm taking that as very good news. Oh, extra big hugs. Don't mind getting fatter, don't mind getting hairier, don't mind getting grayer. All three, yeah, it's not good. Yeah, you won't see Sky without a shirt on either. Oh. Well, yeah, so I'll give you a choice. Tribute to the kids. Oh, bless you. So we've got a species profile video, which the fish in question does not show up in the video, which will at least give Mandy a clue as to what species that profile is on. I think the other one is an update on the shrimp tub and what's going on in the back garden. Yeah, so there's a choice of those for Monday. And then Friday will be part 2 of, will be the interior tour of Hingham Church. So if you'd rather see an update on the courgettes and the outdoor shrimp tub, or a species profile without the fish being in the video, let me know. And see if you can guess, because it's not the invisible perch. See if you can guess what species of fish I keep that I might want to do a species profile video on. The fart ghost, yes. There's plenty of them around here. I've been levitating lately. I swear at some point during the night it's looked like a scene out of The Exorcist with me floating about 3 feet above the bed. But yeah, see if we can figure out what species of fish it might be that I have that you can guarantee will not show itself in the video. No, not the ghost carp. Don't actually have any of them. I've caught some in the past. Very pretty fish. And yes, yes, Debbie got it in one, a clownplex. But people might think, how can you do a species profile without showing the fish that's in the video? Zucchini and shrimp update over the clownplex. Fair enough. Yeah, some people go, well, how can you do a species profile when the fish isn't in the video? That's what they do. That's what happens. You put clown plecos in a tank and you just disappear. You never see them again. Like you do occasionally. Just there's 3 of them in a 9-gallon tank, and I don't see them. Literally before I filmed the video, I doing the water changes on that tank, and I was like, right, I'm going to have to check that there are still fish in there, that they are there. So I lift a bit of wood forward, and there's all three of them literally just sat there underneath the piece of wood. Okay. Yeah, they're all just sat there happily. And a 12 and a 20-year-old clown pleco, never saw them. Yeah, they don't like the light, exactly. Part of my mature mango magnum pleco's kill count. Oh. Yeah, see my clown pleco about 10 times in 3 years. You have to move, yeah. Or if you get really sneaky, you can come down in the middle of the night with a red head torch. All-time fish order is a green phantom pleco, which I got, and I've seen a quarter of his tail since. And ghost people, cats, and dogs, never seen a ghost fish. Oh, yeah, around here there probably are some. Given what seems to happen in this house, things seem to come back from the dead. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a standard crebensis around here somewhere. Oh yeah, literally. I reckon if I bring that tub back in at the end of summer or middle of autumn or beginning of winter, whenever I get ready to it, I would not be surprised if there's a colony of crebensis in there. That tub they used to just multiply in. Must be some folklore about ghost fish. We have some strange folklore. We certainly do. And Norfolk has some extremely strange folklore. Pardon me. Oh, and pardon me again. Yeah, there's got to be. I mean, there's like the sea monster or the river monster type fish folklore, but yeah, there's got to be. I mean, and we used to joke when we went fishing as, I'll say, kids, young teenagers. Because when fish swim through the water, they leave a wake on the surface. Obviously, if they're close to the surface. And this one little pit we used to swim that fish out, which was always crystal clear because of the sheer amount of weed in it. You'd see the trails or the wakes coming off with dorsal fin or the fish coming all the way to the bank, but there'd be no fish there. Literally, you sit there, see the thing going through the water, and it gets there, and there's nothing. There's no fish, no bug, nothing. Where wants the tea? Japan has folklore regarding catfish and carp, not so much ghosts or spirits. Yes, that's why the koi are held in such high regard. And Dan has seen a ghost car. Yeah. When you see a clown pleco not hide, yeah. Black lights and lots of patience. Yes. Plecos are an expensive tail. That's what I like about bristlenoses. They're just out and about. You see them all the time. I've seen a horsefly, dragonfly. I ain't never seen an elephant fly. Hey. Sorry. It was just you, Mandy, but I did it so that we were both there. Yellow had homeschooled, had a crush on his teacher, and then got therapy. And yeah, Dan had a crush on a RE teacher. Paid full attention the whole time and learned nothing. think it was the last year of high school, I didn't actually have her as a teacher, but we had a just qualified teacher, came as a science teacher, and she was a rather pretty blonde young lady, the unfortunately named Miss Blewett. Yeah, she was rather pretty. Oh, lived next to the world's ghost dog hotspot. Yes, Dumbarton Rock. And crushes on teachers need friends. I don't think I ever had a crush on a teacher. I mean, Miss Blewett was cute, but not really my taste. Yes, Dumbarton Rock and the dog suicide bridge. Plenty of videos about that on YouTube. Um, although they think they've figured it out now, is that because of the way the bridge is set and the fact that the walls of the bridge are taller than a dog can see over and they're solid stone, but because of the way the land is either side, it doesn't actually look like there's a chasm in between, a canyon. So the dogs come walking along, and because it's a canyon underneath where deer regularly walk up and down, the dogs get a whiff of the deer and jump over what they think is like a 2-foot high wall to try and go chase the deer or the rabbit or whatever. But it's more like a 30, 40, 50-foot drop straight down. And that's what the dog suicide bridge is about. Went to an all-boys school. At one point, hot RE teachers were much more interesting than my friends. Yeah. And I went to a mixed school, and yeah, thankfully most of my teachers were in about their 90s, I think. Well, they looked it at that age. Yes, many schoolboy jokes about Miss Blewett. Yes, and you got the spelling correct as well. Yeah, that all the jokes happened usually in her class, apparently. I assume she probably got them. And Yellow considers Bob a teacher and has never been crushing harder. Well, Bob is a handsome chap. So have you seen the photos of Bob when he was younger? Oh, enough to turn you. Unlike me, I've been hideous all my life. Oh, I wasn't even a cute kid. There was that time. When was it? During the full solar eclipse. At that point, I looked okay. Ironically enough, I was loading a lorry on a forklift at the time when the solar eclipse happened. I just carried on, didn't even bother putting the lights on. You're adorable now, Mandy. Jimmy Savile would disagree with. Yeah, Jimmy Savile or Rolf Harris. Yes, let's get Sterlo in on that one. Rolf Harris crying over someone's hamster dying when, in fact, in the background he was being naughty. Did I get a new plant? I didn't. Well, not recently. I mean, that's just the crypt that is growing from around the back all the way around at the front. Oh, Anacara. That's the female. Looking rather grumpy, as usual. And the other one is the Vallisneria. That's the most recent one I had, which is now The leaves are basically over to about here. Yeah, it just went nuts. The poop levels in the substrate reached critical mass, and the crypts just went nuts again. The wheels merged with the belly. Yeah, Rolf Harris singing Two Little Boys. Yeah, come. Has an entire different meaning these days, doesn't it? Two little boys had two little toys. Each had a wooden. Yeah. Oh, don't worry, Marek. Don't worry. I'll still be here. You know that. You've had real life things going on that you had to sort out. So yeah, I'm not. Life happens to everyone. So you know, random weird hairy English dude on internet is less important than real life stuff. Didn't have words. I had a pony and then a horse. The lionesses have done. Seriously, we're World Cup winners. Oh, get in there, girls. That's excellent news. Oh, European champions, but yay! The England women's football team um, has just won the European Championships by beating Germany in the final. What was the score, Sherry, my dear? Oh, impromptu nap, stupid COVID. Oh, well, it's not an impromptu nap, Larry. If you need a nap, have a nap. Speaking of someone who had the Rona, yeah, just nap if you need a nap. I'm as so with Matt. I don't expect anyone to be here. It's nice that people do choose to be here because if they didn't, then I would be sitting here talking to myself. I saw Rolf Harris on stage singing about his extra leg in the Royal Albert Hall when I was a Cub Scout. I'm Jake the Peg, did a little leg with me extra leg, did a little, yeah. You put that together with two little boys, and the story start. He wasn't being subtle, was he? So I never met Rolf, but I did meet Jimmy Savile. Thankfully, even back then, no one wanted to go anywhere near my backside. Yeah, this is it. If you need a nap, have a nap. I'm not going to question why we know those songs by heart. It's because they got played all the time, right up until the point that they got out as pedos, and then yeah, they got banned. Same with Gary Glitter. Yeah, I know that name now means something else. In the Gary Glitter, as it were. What rhymes with glitter? Yeah. Um, yeah, you never hear his music anymore because, went to jail for being pedo. So no one will play it. So yeah, you're not going to hear Leader of the Gang ever again. Unless you specifically own it or hunt for it, and then, yeah. Oh, what was the band? Metal band. Was it what, South Wales? Was it Lamb of God? The lead singer basically proved to be, evil. It's like he saw what the Norwegian black metal groups were doing and decided to go one worse. Ladies so much better than the men's team. Well, because they want to play, they want to win. They got the hunger. The men's team, well, they probably get told by their clubs, don't play too hard because we want you fit and well for the start of the next season. guy on Thick Thought. We listen to old songs and shows the lyrics. Yeah. This what was it? It was I was watching a how can we put it? A very very American reacting to Placebo's song Nancy Boy. Yeah, he didn't enjoy the lyrics to that at all. I've got a feeling whoever put him up to reacting to it knew what his stance was on things like homosexuality and sexual fluidity and decided to just, screw with him. Yeah, no beggaring little boys. But yeah, Beatles songs are twisted. Although Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was not about LSD. It was actually about a picture that Julian Lennon drew when he was at school, which was a picture of a little girl named Lucy, and she was in the sky surrounded by diamonds, which were meant to be stars, but, one of those urban myths that takes hold. Yeah. I mean, the thing is that Beatles were so high, they literally had to get a boat hook and get them down off the ceiling to record something most of the time. Exactly, Stars or Diamonds, who cares? It's a cool tune. But yeah, this is it. People hear the Beatles and they think, happy beat, yay, upbeat, yay, great, yay. No, listen to the words, people. It's like all the people who have Every Breath You Take by Sting or Police as the first dance at their wedding, and you're like, oh God, you don't know what this song's about, do you? You think it's a love song. Or when, at the time, very famous girl group, Girls Aloud covered Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge. And no one thought to tell them it was a song about heroin addiction. So there they are on a kiddies TV show on a Saturday morning singing about it. And it was one of the other guests pointed out to them live. You do realise that song is about heroin addiction, right? And living under a bridge. And just the looks on their faces when they found you see it tick through their head for a few seconds. It's like, what? Then it just clicks. Bang, bang, Maxwell Silverhammer came down upon his head. Yes. Well, then, as I say, I Kiss from a Rose. A lot of people did not know the true meaning. They didn't. Long and Winding Road was about trying to grow a carpeting plant. Yeah, true. Although, actually, I think in the first draft of that, it was called The Long and Winding Chode. Is where I drew some blood. Yeah, it was rather child inappropriate. Yeah, the fact that they were singing it and they didn't. Someone's obviously given them the lyrics to read so they can sing it, and they've not twigged. But as you're saying with the Beatles songs, like a lot of the times you can listen to a song and not actually know what it's about, because a lot of people don't listen to the lyrics. They listen to the lyrical melody, but not the actual words. Under the bridge downtown is where I drew some blood. I mean, the amount of people who probably still think brown sugar is about something you put on your porridge. Oh yeah, rice pudding. Yeah, pour some sugar on me. Yeah, that's yeah. But at least songs like Chirpy Chirpy Cheep Cheep are innocent. Basically, if adults start liking a song that's aimed at children, there's going to be an ulterior motive somewhere in the lyrics that hasn't quite been picked up on yet by the mainstream. Ooh, howdy, Silver Creek. Nerd question. If temps are higher, say 31 to 32, would having more plants uplift the dissolved O2 to put viability of marginal? If you've got more plants in there, you're going to get more O2 coming out of the plants, to be fair. So yeah, I would think a jungle tank would fare better in hot weather. I mean, it was 42 degrees here, which is 108 American, and I didn't lose a single fish. And even the shrimp outside in the black tub have survived. Hello, Mark. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Um, and then you have really heavy metal bands that sing about love and nobody gets it. Yeah, this is it. If you listen to a lot of metal, you get to even the growls. You get to be able to understand what they're actually singing. And a lot of times lyrically, it's really good stuff. A lot of Cradle of Filth stuff is uh, pretty much poetry. Around 33, water won't hold oxygen anymore, but in some streams it gets way hotter, especially in the jungle, but more plants produce. Yeah, I mean, seas get that hot in the tropics sometimes, so these conditions exist in the wild and creatures survive in them. So yeah, I'd assume that more plants equals, if not just more oxygen, then the plants will be. Did the plants take out the CO2 underwater? Yeah, they do. They take in the CO2. So if the plants are pulling the CO2 out of the water and producing the oxygen, then yeah, I would have assumed that more plants is more good for more oxygen. Oh, oh, you got an itch down there, have you, buddy? Or are you digging another breeding pit? Is that what you're doing? Yeah? Yeah, you're digging a breeding pit, aren't you? Yes, despite the fact there's only two of you in there and you're both male. That's not going to work, is it, eh? Looking for my headphones on the plane, the stream has ended. Oh, hello, Alison. How are you? Yeah. See you later, Yella. Have fun. Yeah, so it must. It's one of these. I think it's one of these things where there's probably someone who had a tank that got to 32 degrees and everything died in it. Oh, not my connection. I'm all good this end. And howdy, Scotty, Mr. Alien World Airsoft or Alien World Aquatics, depending on which channel. Um, yeah, what I'll say with that 32 degrees and all the fish die thing, I would say that's probably someone who's had a tank that didn't have live plants in it, didn't have any surface agitation. It got to 32 degrees, and yeah, the oxygen level plummeted, and the fish died. So they therefore equated it that that's what the temperature the fish die at. As I say, some of these were up I think some of the fryer ruckers at 36, 38 degrees last week. All right. Yeah, and I didn't lose a single fish. Weird that, isn't it? And they're not exactly full with live plants either, are they? Yeah, you've got surface hazard chasing. Exactly. I've got sponge filters and the Fluval U ones or other little filters in most of these tanks, and a lot of surface movement. Need more studies actually written for the topic. Yes, this is the thing is how to word this so I don't sound like a git. There is a lot of not necessarily misinformation in the fish keeping hobby. There is a lot of conflation, where something happened once to somebody and therefore it's bad and you can't do it and it will kill all your fish. Much like the gas bowl was in the substrate. If you have deep sand bed substrate and then you get the hydrogen peroxide or sulfur dioxide or whatever gas building up, and then a bubble of it will come out and all your fish will die. Have you ever actually seen a real lake or something where the fish, the bottom feeders are grubbing through all the silt? You know, the carp, the koi, the bream, the tench. In the UK, this is. You can tell which fish is feeding there by the bubbles that come up when they feed, that they disturb from the substrate. Now, those bubbles are going directly over the fish's gills. So, yeah, if one small bubble of that gas coming up in your tank kills everything in it, I don't know quite how it works in real life. There's a lot of not so well off information. Yeah, this is it. There's a lot of something happened once to somebody and they've misjudged exactly what happened. Yeah, deep substrate cories, plecos, no issues. I mean, this shell dweller tank, deep sand substrate, runs at 0 nitrate, so I've got the anoxic anaerobic, one of those bacteria. Is it Nitrosomonas? I've got them in there eating all the nitrates, and they're shellies, so they're constantly digging around in the sand. I don't see any bubbles coming up, and my shellies don't all die. You know, you've got plecos and cories. Yeah, there's plenty of poop in that deep substrate, so there's plenty to break down in there that might rot and produce methane or other gases. So yeah, it's one of those where, yeah, as Dan says, the evolution of experience. It's pleco rescopes the substrate nightly. You see, my plecos don't seem to do much digging, or Doug does. That's why he's called Doug, because you look at it, oh, it's been dug out. But the rest of them, not so much. And he only really does that so he can get into the coconut hut. Probably so he can. Well, he just likes hiding in there for some reason. Except for when the cribbies lay the eggs in there, because then if he tries to get in there, he gets attacked. Howdy, aqua balls. How are you? Hope all is well with you. Oh God, my name. The name file in my brain has gone corrupt. George, that's it. Makes my tank look like a desert with tall peaks of sandhills. Yeah, pretty much like my Shelly tank. Yeah. The parrotfish called A-hole due to his redecorating prowess. Plus, is a fossil plant, the cobra, who mows over it and snaps it. Yeah, I'm not going to show you the bacopa that I've got going crazy in pleco tanks. Oh dear. I say every tank is different, every fish is different. There are generalizations, like as a general rule, it's probably best not to put shrimp in with a betta, but some betta are absolutely fine with shrimp. Some are mass murder junkies. I'm sure there's someone who's managed to keep like neons with Oscars or something like that, and it's all been fine. Pleco's a prize dick, to be honest. Yeah, well, I mean, I think the reason Doug can be a bit of an a-hole is because there are two males in there, so, and they're both of breeding age. They do have the occasional scrap, but thankfully nothing too serious has happened. And the reason I haven't got rid of one of them is good and replaced with a female is, do you think I have room for another breeding pair of plecos to produce? No, I don't think I could sell 450 bristle noses a month. I mean, if I could, the prices I'd get for the lemon blue eyes, what would that be? 450, 900. Yeah, I wouldn't have to work if I could guarantee selling them. That sorority with over 100 cherry shrimp. Shrimp have massive amounts of hidey holes. Yeah, hidey holes is the important thing. They can, yeah. The bettas probably getting some of the, or bettas, especially being females, because with the shorter fins they're a lot zoomier. I think that's a lot to do with it. If you've got a rose tail or crown tail with a big sail hanging off of its back end, they're not very quick. So the shrimp can get out of the way, but if you've got the bettas with the shorter fins or the females, then yeah, they can be a bit zoomier, so they can get to things. As I say, Norman the betta, he was a rose tail. He was absolutely fine with the shrimp. He didn't bother him at all. I mean, he'd even wait for them to decide they'd finished feeding before he went and had a nibble of their algae wafer or pellets or whatever. And he'd play games. He would literally play boo with them. Like there'd be a bundle of shrimps out, and he'd like sneak up to them and go, "Where?" just to make them scatter. He wasn't trying to eat any of them. He was just being silly. But then Engelbert was an absolute murder junkie. Because although anyone who's kept shrimp tanks will know that I took all the shrimp out of the tank means there's probably about a dozen of them left in there. And yeah, he just murdered everything. But the only thing that survived in with him was a nerite snail that was quite large. Because, yeah, he was a murderer. Murderer. He killed everything. And then, you know, as a massively embraced betta, he didn't live for very long anyway. Shame. Very pretty fish though. But that's just what happens. The more you inbreed something for weaker genetics, the weaker the fish gets. Funny that, isn't it? Don't you remember when guppies were easy to keep and you could just stick some guppies in a tank and no worries, they'd be fine? These days they're so weak that even moving them from one tank to another in the same fish room with the same water parameters can be enough to kill them. Got glass cats in the tooth. Don't have glass cats in your community, do it, especially if you have good lights. Never see so much colour. Don't mention guppies. Yeah, guppies are just live food around here. Oh, Marit, my dear, thank you very much for 55 krona. Thank you. Au revoir. Much appreciated. Hope all is well. Mark's here somewhere, or he was earlier. Yeah, I'll say I had 55 guppies in here, adults, and then I had a Senegal bicher. Sorry, Polypterus. We decided we were going to call them Polypterus from now on, because everyone can pronounce that. Yeah, so I'll put Spaz the Polypterus in here. And yeah, all 55 guppies went away. He's bought some new mutt guppy males to work some new colours in. Any hobbyist bred guppies I get seemingly fine. All the imports, they don't do well bagged and shipped 4 different times in 2 months. Yeah, this is it. It's the shipping them halfway across the planet, drugging them to because let's be honest, they are sedated when they're shipped across the planet. However many different types of water and getting hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, no oxygen, blah, 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 ammonia. And then by the time you buy them in the shop, they're probably on their last legs, or last fins, I suppose would be more accurate. So yeah, I'm a strong proponent in homebred fish are the way to go. If you can get hold of homebred, locally tank bred as well, they're going to be much stronger fish than any you're going to buy from a shop that's been imported. Which is why my bristly noses are so popular around here. Free foot. Yeah, I wondered what that was on about. They're footed eye forever homes. I'm thinking, well, I know forever home. Smartphone, yeah. I think we should call them dumb phones. Mike was fish room. Yep. I do watch his videos. He's not for everyone. He's not everyone's cup of tea. That's oh, pardon me. That is, but he speaks a lot of sense, and he keeps things basic and simple. Doesn't overcomplicate things. Says it how it is, and he rants a lot, and I like rants. Thank you, Dan. £5 super chat. I'm going to be rich. See the Wookiee shuffle. Oh God. Okay. There we go. I'm thoroughly expecting someone to cut that out of this and post it up as a random video somewhere. Yeah, my videos are actually set to allow people to clip things for shorts. So yes, don't be surprised if that one turns up as a shorts video somewhere. Oh, it's getting dark behind me. As the night crew lights turn off, then on, then off again. Oh dear, pardon me. But anyway, thank you very much for that, Dan. As you know, always appreciated, never expected. And Bob and Mark and Marit for all your super chats, and anyone else who super chatted anything or did anything cool and awesome. Always just here. Choice here, you don't like someone, you don't watch them. First DK of Shorts video launches, so well, you know, quite happily. I have no shame But just probably not best to have a go at Mike because he'll have a go back. But yeah, thank you everyone for showing up, being here, entertaining me as much as hopefully I've entertained you. I've tried at least. I've been awake, so that's always a bonus. And it's getting dark, and I haven't had a nap today. So actually, I haven't had a nap for 4 days now. And I'm not going to have one for the next 3 either. But yeah, so thank you for showing up. All the cool stuff. Stay safe. Have a good week. If you're not feeling great, hope you feel better soon. Positive vibes to the Kentuckians. Have fun. Enjoy your hobbies. Peace out. Rock on. And bye-bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do.